Hello, I'm Kats, and welcome to today's video. So once again, the portal is alight with the lovely purple hue, meaning it is once again time to pull some shards. However, we're doing it a bit earlier than usual because as of recording this is a Friday. Normally I pull my shards on Sunday, but we do have a relatively special occasion that we're just going to shoot our shot for with a minimal amount of hope, but you never know, crazier things have happened. So with that said, hopefully you all know by now that we never pull without a purpose. So of course there is a champion chase going on this weekend, so we are going to go for some of the rewards. Now I am fortunate enough to have Bayek on my account, and I probably will long term be working on getting his souls up to at least 4-star, maybe even 6-star if it really feels like the right thing to do. But yeah, trying to win a champion chase tournament, especially during 2x voids, which is extremely costly because voids are just harder to come by. If it was ancients, maybe I'd be a little bit more competitive, but then it also would be easier for my opponents to be more competitive, but I digress. So technically speaking, there is the 5-star soul for Bayek up for grabs if you take first place in your group, but the odds of that are ridiculously slim. So I'm not crossing my fingers on that one, but my goal for this one is, of course, getting ourselves a Legendary Tome here at 4,200. So we're going to pull as many voids as it takes to get out there. And yeah, that's kind of the min-maxing approach for this particular instance. Going above and beyond that is a bit too lofty. At least that would be too expensive in the short term, because I'm relatively speaking happy with where I'm at with in terms of my void legendaries, recently speaking. So let's pop into the portal and talk about a little bit more of the reasoning behind this. But of course, we start off with the overall shard count, my account at the moment. So 489 on the ancients, 198 on the voids, which of course we'll be diving into today, 19 on the perennials, and then 47 on the sacreds. So the reason we are pulling on Friday, the first day, is because there is this 10x on Pontiff Augustin. But yeah, I don't really care about him himself. I kind of just want to see if we can magically get the Master Assassin badge from the challenges tab and whatnot. I have all 5 of the assassins. You may have noticed that I do have the super avatar frame here. That was my goal, getting the golden Assassin's Creed avatar frame, which feels really, really good and really satisfying. But yeah, technically speaking, if I can get Pontiff, who's going to be in the game forever, so it doesn't really matter if I get him now or, you know, years from now. But if I ever get him, then I will get the cool Master Assassin badge as well, which kind of just be a, you know, cool flex on the account, so to speak. But yeah, minimal chance it is a 10x. There's probably, I think it equates to like a 1 in 6 chance if we do get a void legendary at all, that he would be the one that would pop out. So the odds are relatively slim, but like I said earlier, you never know, crazier things have happened. In terms of mercy, let me pop up my mercy tracker on the screen here. If you would like to use a copy of this for yourself, that will be linked in the description box down below. But we're focusing here on the void section. As you can see, we are fresh off of a void legendary. Of course, that was getting Bayek from his 10x a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, so odds are slim that we get a legendary. We're not going to be pulling as many voids. I hope to keep this to around 30 to 40 maximum, just because there's no fusion going on right now, and there's no Titan event going on right now. So this is most definitely a luxury pull. But do let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are even interested in pulling this weekend. In terms of who we're looking for, we're back to normal. So epics, of course, it is a 2x, so I do want to see a decent amount of epics. I'm still looking for more copies of Whisper and Basher. Believe it or not, years and years later, I still have a unempowered Basher who I still use on a regular basis. Obviously, Fabian is a better, superior lockout champion, but for more just like insta or quick fights in classic arena and stuff like that, I use Basher as my default because he's void affinity, so I don't have to worry about weak hits and therefore not locking people out. So I'd like an empowered Basher for the first time in 5+ years. But also more copies of Whisper, because I do want to have 2+4 Whispers, which means I need a lot of copies of my Whisper. But yeah, that's it for the epics and the legendaries. Again, we could focus our luck here on Pontiff here if we happen to get one at all. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind Queen of Hearts, Marichka, or Sulfurion. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We've got just enough space, hopefully. We've got a decent amount of cash, and hopefully we've got some pretty average luck here. Again, I'm mostly looking for good epic rates here. Epics are good for champion chase points, but again, I'm looking for an empowered Basher and an empowered Whisper. Those are probably the primary goals, but I will not complain if we do happen to get another void legendary, albeit fairly unlikely, coming fresh off of one. So 1 epic so far, not exactly what you want to see. And a couple of, 2 epics, Maneater and Towering Titan. Of course, everyone knows Maneater for the unkillable teams, but he is kind of decent as well for the A1 decrease attack AoE as long as he crits. Towering Titan is unfortunately pretty useless. I do need more copies of the Broadmaw rares, so I think Huntress, I might be out of her, So that might be another Broadmaw for some future Champion Chase, which is always good. Another copy of Bloodhorn, same purpose. 1100 in the Champion Chase, you're 1/4 of the way there. So as long as we can average about 2 epics per 10 pop, we should be able to get to the 4200 in 40 Void Shards. But we definitely don't want to see 10 rares, and it looks like we are on track for the dreaded all blues. You hate to see it. So maybe we have to go out there to 50 voids once again. Unfortunately, Renegade, honorable mention there for the reset capabilities, but now that most people have Donatello on their team, I think he's kind of the upgrade to Renegade anywhere you would have used her in the past. Cold Heart. Some people are crying in their on their accounts because they may not have a Cold Heart, but it's always good to see her. Obviously, I don't need her in my stage of the game. Reliquary Tender, also good. And wow, back-to-back all blues. Ouch, you hate to see it. So that means we're also in Epic Mercy at this point. So we're guaranteed to get an Epic on this 10 pop here, the 4th 10 pop of the day. We're not doing so hot in terms of points, so it should happen eventually. It's practically guaranteed within the next couple. There it is. There's our Mercy Epic. Azure, unfortunately, not what we want to see. Not that good of an epic either. At least we got another couple of Broadmaw rares, but man, the rates are not with us today, even in terms of the epic. So this is our hopefully the last 10 pop. We are only at like 3,000 points, so we kind of need a miracle here. We need 2 epics, and that would get us 1,100 points, which actually might leave us a little bit shy of the target there of the 4,000. There's 1 epic, there's 2 epics. Can we get a third hot streak right at the end? Not quite. So 50 voids and no, probably we're probably gonna be at like 3,900 or 4,100 points or something really close. It might make more sense because there is champion training going on for the rest of the weekend that we kind of just call it here on the voids, because I don't know if I really want to invest in another 10 pop just for a couple hundred points maximum. So I think we're going to call it there. But yeah, Skrank, decent AoE HP burner, decent DPS as well. And then Gom, Yellow Hand. I always forget which one this guy is. He's the one who with the AoE stun, even though it's not 100% chance, but it's good enough for an epic 3-turn cooldown AoE stun with a 75% chance to land and turn meter drop. Really, really solid. Good support for getting you through faction wars and other niche content. But he can also heal your team a little bit with continuous heals and provide the increased speed. So pretty solid champion. One of the newer Void epics added to the game. I think he was probably one of the fusion champions, maybe sometime or late last year, if memory serves. But yeah, let's double check. In the champion chase, I believe we should be, we're not going to be at the Legendary Tome, but we should be like 4,000, maybe 4,000, 4,100. Okay, 4,000, close enough. So yeah, we're going to call it there on the voids. Like I said, 200 points is not worth another 10 pop. We're in first place. Oh my god, no, it's definitely not going to hold. But we'll see. I doubt it. I think people are definitely going to fight. It's 2x voids. Generally speaking, people do like to kind of go a little bit harder on 2x voids. But yeah, so mystery shards over the course of the next couple of days in champion training will probably should get me 200 points either, as far as also getting any rares from the campaign as well. That should get us a decent amount of points as well. So let's go ahead and collect everything but the energy. And yeah, we're going to call it there. So 50 voids down the drain. Not the epics we're looking for, but of course we did get some useful epics. And I guess as a small account update, I ultimately decided I did complete the uncommon spider tournament, but I opted to not actually collect the prism fragments here. As you can see, they're locked in the tournament. Took 3rd place, unfortunately got snaked right at the very end last night, and people went a little bit. I think I saw one person at 1,400 flat, and I went a little bit beyond that just to kind of see if I can, eke the win. But people at 1,600 is kind of crazy. You just went way out. But anyways, I decided I'm just going to save these 40 for the next summon pool, just because I'm not too enticed. The only champion who I would want from this is Kreela Witcharm, and there's a very, very small chance that she would be the one that would pop out. Obviously, most likely you get an epic, and if I happen to get a legendary, she's not one of the most likely outcomes of that, and so it's just like meh. So I'd rather just save it for whatever the next summon pool is and do my shot there, and hopefully they're a little bit more enticing. It doesn't really matter, I guess, if they're enticing or not, because we're kind of locked in. But anyways, it would be nice to get something or have a better chance at something that I want more than kind of a niche champion for the Cursed City. So there you have it. That's going to do it for today's shard pulling session. We got a bunch of epics, probably just going to be some empowerment down the line. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also pulling some of your voids despite it not being during Fusion and or Titan event. I doubt a lot of people are going to be pulling. I think this is a great time to be saving your shards for some upcoming event. Obviously the new Fusion was announced fairly recently, but that does start next week, which I guess is good to know that that Fusion will not include 2x voids, so it'll be 2x ancients or 2x sacreds depending upon circumstances. So that is at least interesting to say the least. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below to let us help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.